Hi guys, Thomas Datt here, going live again, doing something a little bit crazy, a little bit different, and very, very uncomfortable. If you saw my last live feed, then you saw me at my most vulnerable. Though to be honest, doing this today with you is not that much different, which is surprising because I thought the last one would have been the worst, but I guess this is just another level of the same energy, which was me and coming into it. So what I want to show you guys is how I give professional feedback to your music. So I offer this as a service where I will record about 30 minutes, 15 to 20 to 30 minutes of me talking about your piece of music and giving honest, sometimes brutal feedback. However, this feedback is from that uncomfortable, vulnerable place of the heart. So it's based on emotion. So how does your piece of music make me feel? And how I do that is, I start from the very beginning. In your case, you're a lot luckier because I listened to your piece of music for the very first time on that spot when I'm recording the video and giving you feedback. So there's no preconceived notions or any spoilers to what I'm going to hear. And I listen to it from the very beginning to the very end. And I'll pause it every once in a while to express how something in that part of the music makes me feel. And then at that same time, it ends up being a reflection of you. So I'm basically talking about you and how you may have felt when you were writing that piece of music at the time. So it's quite the reflection in your music. If you were having a shitty day, if you were frustrated, if you were forcing the music, whatever it is you would do, not quite present for the creative process, if you were off with the fairies, worrying about something, stressing about something, being depressed about something, not consciously just sitting here making music. You think you're doing something a certain way, so then your ego kicks in, like, yeah, I'm making this like this because that's what I want to feel like, except what you actually feel like is completely different. So then what goes into the music is completely different than what you think you're saying. And I come here like, is this how you felt when you were writing this? Oh, well, you probably might want to work on that because that's not a great place to come from when you write music. No one wants to listen to that. I want to be taken to another dimension. I want to be given a story, not a complaint. I'm having a shitty day. Here's my song. Can you feel how shitty my day was in this song? And you're like, oh my God, this totally feels like a shitty day. If I could name what the feeling is, it would be this, a shitty day. Good job on making me feel like I had a shitty day as well. That is amazing. That was all sarcasm, by the way, if you didn't get it. So, we've all been there at some point or another with our music. Maybe not as many of us as there should be. So now when I write music, I don't complain about something small. I take you on a multi-dimensional galactic journey through soundscapes and activations to your spiritual body and physical upgrades as well, go in the same direction. Not sure how we got there, but yeah, I think it's time to get more of that water ready. Just give me a second. Jeez. The only problem with this one is I've heard this song many times and I know how it goes. So there's no surprises here unless I really allow myself to disconnect from the person that made this and just be myself. in the heart. Cool. So let's get started. All right. Off the bat, I can feel the percussion being a bit repetitive. So there's this sort of stress going on about not having space for the percussion to breathe. Not quite sure how to relate that to what I might have been going through that time. Feels awkward for me to go into that time so bad, but I'm not quite sure what it's going at. So this is, in essence, is like a healing session for myself through you guys. I think I'm gonna touch on something that might be very traumatic while we go through this process, which, I can't believe I just signed up for this. Let's see how it goes. I'm feeling some like, so the percussion seems quite in one area. How can I put this? If music is a sphere, right, which it is, and I teach you how to utilize that space, most of this percussion is kind of here, just like in my face, so it feels annoying and kind of frustrating and agitating. And again, there's no space in anything for it to breathe. My goodness, what the hell was I going through at that time? As I listen to those words, so much energy shifts in me and makes me very uncomfortable. So, holy crap, we got like 9 minutes to go of the music, but a lot of me talking. Okay, what I'm getting from this bass line is annoying, or annoyed. Something was annoying me at that time. So now, when I feel this bass line, I'm just like, why am I so annoyed? I'm literally connecting to that version of myself in space and time to feel it now. So consciously, like, remembering what it felt like back then. You get a trauma, you completely forget about the trauma, or you push it down really, really far, and subconsciously that trauma is going to be affecting you in some ways, but you'll never be quite in the body conscious to go, I actually want to go to that trauma and see what it has to say. So there's like this fear holding it back. And that's what I do for you. I basically tap into your music. I hear what your soul is trying to say, and then I say it back to you. And you're like, whoa, I'm not sure if I was ready for that. But if you are ready for that, and you want to take it further, your music is going to be insane. So let's keep going. Let's make me cry. I don't really want to cry, but I'm just saying, if we're going into a trauma, we might actually see that. Those big drops and basses and those big kicks feel like a little outburst to me. Or like a very deep annoyance, like it just triggers you to go like, rah, or whatever, whatever it is. Oh, still everything else, just the sense that the percussion, everything just seems very frustrating and agitating. If that's the story here. Hi, love you too. Okay, tell me how that does not does not feel like angry. So like getting annoyed to the point of going like oh my god, this is fun times, guys. I'm enjoying the fact that you guys might be watching my misery. This is kind of this is how my lessons go as well. I push you to this point where um you know it kind of it actually happens in the pads section of learning how to make music as I do. It's like halfway through the course we get to the pads, and I just extended it to 3 lessons because we realized one was not enough, and we realized two only kind of is getting there, and I think three is going to nail the whole journey, and that's when we really just break you apart into your most vulnerable little part of that heart you don't want to visit, and I'll just kind of we'll make it fun. We'll laugh at the whole thing, but we get to the point where you're like, okay, now here's your shit. You need to deal with this, and then we'll come back and clear some of your other crap and reassess the situation so you could actually tell me in music what that trauma feels like. It's it's next level shit. This is actual energy healing while learning to make music and tapping into your own soul at the same time, and me helping you going like, hey, this is your soul, dude. And you're like, whoa, I need to shed some tears because I thought I was someone else, but that's who I am. And when you shared the belief of being someone else, you're not making music like anyone else anymore. You're not copying this guy or that guy or this guy. 2B2 is probably copied by everyone I've listened to at that point, except I was angry or frustrated, so I didn't quite tap into their stuff. Yeah, let's get going. How exciting. This one feels to me like whoever you're having, or I was having an argument with, or something, started to break past my trigger of that state of annoyance, frustration, anger, whatever it was. So it's like, okay, I'm triggered. I'm not even in the body. Try writing music from there. You're not even in the body. What the hell are you doing? Not in the body. And then, something triggers me to come back and start going like, oh, shit. Did I zone out again, or just black out or whatever it is? And then this person, let's say this is a little female angel, is like, hey, maybe I could get through to that shell of a trigger you're in. And that's what it feels like here. Whoops. That was the alarm to feed the cats. I think the wife has got this one covered because I'm live. Shit, I forgot what I was saying. Thank you, alarm, for really taking me away from that train of thought. I might come back to it at some point, but let me just go back to the music, and it might... Oh yeah, so the angel voice kind of starts breaking through the trigger and starts feeling like a little massage. So it's like, oh, I was a bit hot over there, but now you're calming me down with this little massage, and everything might be better. Or I think maybe I'm feeling a little bit better. What else you kind of got there happening? So yeah. So in this instance, it feels like there's still some resistance, like um, you're understanding that you might have screwed up something, um, and you're getting maybe not scolded, but just like gotten through to where you feel a little ashamed, or maybe, oh, what is it? But then you can't admit the fact that it's your fault. So there's that resistance. There's still some percussion resisting, like, oh my God, this happened because this happened. I can't own my own faults, Ugh, I'm a victim of circumstance. Yeah, how many can you relate to that one? And here it feels like you kind of gave up. Feels like I may have given up the fight to be angry or resist the fact that no longer saying out loud that it's not my fault or making excuses. You're just like, okay. But in your head, you're like, ah, fuck you. So, and those little fart noises are in the head going, I'm right still, but this is where we're at now. I give up. So you think you're right and you think I'm wrong and everything will be better. Except deep down inside, you still hold on to that grudge. Oh my God, what are we talking about here? Mm. That is so weird. I don't even know what to say there. It feels like um, like a heartfelt explanation as to um, the situation the two of them might find themselves in. Not it, it's quite heartfelt, so it felt honest, but it still didn't quite get the bigger picture. It's a little, um, it's a surface level sort of emotional acknowledgement of what just transpired, um, which potentially can grow into something else, like a seed of emotional resonance where you can understand such a thing and then heal it and then write music from a completely different perspective. Because yeah, this part, even though it's this small, it repeats itself the whole time, right? The whole song, this is it, right? Like, this is the energy we're in. This is how I'm feeling. And a lot of us were relating to that feeling back then, which is why I think it's so popular with you guys and not me, because maybe I disconnected from that or something like that, that energy. It's like an explanation of it wasn't even me. Like, this melody isn't really me. I was not here to be myself. This is someone else's idea or energy or something of the sorts. I'm just thinking I need to be this right now, or something like that, if that makes sense. Oh my god, that to me this feels like manipulation. It's just that's what I'm picking up on everything that transpired since the story. So the story is something like, oh, here's a heartfelt explanation, but then still unable to necessarily apologize, right? So you have this explanation, but you can't apologize. So then you manipulate the situation and you just go like, well, this is how I feel. So let's just layer it with other shit because this is how I feel. And just put all this other crap like here. Like everything is just happening here, but this is how I feel. And we're going to know how I feel. And we're going to turn it around into being a victim of circumstance, not really owning what the hell is happening. If you're not owning yourself and how you feel and how you live your life on a daily basis, and you're just off with the clouds, afraid of everything and stressing about everything, worrying about everything, how are you meant to write good music? Good music is in the present moment, in the here and now, like what I'm doing with you guys live with the world. This is how you make music. This is the place you have to be in. How many of you can be vulnerable with the whole world on camera? Well, it's the same thing with music. You're basically putting your soul out there. If you're not comfortable with yourself, if you don't know who you are, what kind of music are you going to be fucking making? I'm just gonna make this because they're doing this and it's probably gonna be good because I do it too and we all do the same thing. Man, every single soul is unique. You all sound different. You have the potential to sound different and next level and amazing and tell beautiful stories and soundscapes. When you know who you are, when your energy is on point, when you could work from calmness and stillness in the here and now. That's when you come out into your music, and when you've healed all your crap, or you're even healing through the musical process, it's just beautiful and next level stuff. It's the shit that raises your the hairs on your arms. You don't need drugs to feel next level music because it already has feeling. You need drugs to feel dead music, and there's so much of it in the industry right now. I gotta feel something. Let's pop some pills because this music, I think I like this music, but I don't feel anything. But if I take these pills, oh my god, I'll be like in heaven. This is the best music ever. And then you feel empty after that whole experience. And dead inside because the music's dead inside. Oh my god. Now imagine doing that with music that actually makes you feel something. You'll be in another dimension in no time. Serious healing stuff. Let's keep going. I probably won't have much else to say here, because we kind of covered what's happening and not much changes in it, right? If not much changes in the music, that means there's no resolution happening. There's no better place. Like you could be angry, you could be upset. Tell me a story. Okay, there's hope. Oh shit. Now everyone's feeling hopeful. Like, okay, we felt like shit. You got us there. And now we're feeling hopeful. Whoa. I have no idea where we're going with this. And then there's a resolution to the first two parts, and they all come together, and you're like, oh, that's not so bad. Yeah, I could probably do that myself too. It feels kind of nice. Oh yes, thank you. Let's keep going. So I'm still feeling that whole complaining. I can't take ownership. It's not my fault. These are the reason why it's not my fault that I wasn't in my body and I wasn't in control, or blah blah blah. I got triggered, and then that hi-hat comes in. it felt like now you go like, it's your fault. Oh my god. So that hi-hat just took me to the next level of complaining and like manipulating the situation. It's like, but you know what, if you didn't do this and you didn't say that, or if you didn't push me to my trigger point, if you didn't make me my ego so butthurt in that little moment, I wouldn't have gotten triggered. And that individual that's getting the blame is like, what the fuck is wrong with you? It's like talking to a child. There's nothing getting through. And that's what happened to us, ladies and gentlemen, when we are in a trigger or having a little tantrum. We're like that little kid. And later the grown-up kind of comes back like, oh shit, did I do that again? Oh, I'm so sorry, I can't control when I'm a little kid. It's your fault, I'm a little kid. Okay. Wow, you could heal all that shit with energy healing and this music program. Like, it's just, it's so stupid and so simple. Okay, just I'm twisting wrong knobs. I got a lot of knobs here. Not as many as balls. Um, so again, like before, that lovely pad just feels like that calming voice. You know, saying, "Hey, but here's my perspective on how it made me feel," and it kind of again, you're just a different layer of a trigger. You know, denial, sort of, yes, kind of acceptance, but here's like another perspective on what you're doing in this moment. And you're like, oh shit, maybe I should tone it down. And that's what happened. The music starts toning it down at the same time. Right, but like before, there's all this resistance and some percussion. It's like, I'm trying to get through to you. Well, no, I'm not ready to give up control over how I feel right now. There's a few things here. I feel this wasn't quite me or myself in this moment. That so it because this was being copied by what might have been happening in the music industry or what was kind of popular, and I just like I don't know how to feel that way, but I kind of like what you're doing with feeling that way. So I'm expressing this feeling, but from my place of what is it, anger and agitation, and feels like this is either the explanation of what the trigger feels like, or oh my god, plot twist, there was a trigger, like a secondary trigger. Psh, you're out of here, you know, because of that trying to intervene with the manipulation and it's not my fault sort of thing, and then it was brought to your attention, and once again you just can't handle the fucking truth. It's my little ego, you know, I can't take it. So what happened? You get triggered. This whole section right now is that trigger, so I'm not quite sure if it's the explanation of what the trigger was like in the beginning, or just another layer of like, oh, okay, well, two triggers at once. 2v2, bitch. Why would I want to feel this? Have you asked yourself that before? To me, it feels like anger and yelling. Rah, rah, rah. That's what it feels like. Connect to yourself, connect to your space, go into that deep placing of what does this make you feel? It makes me feel like I don't like feeling this way. I actually wouldn't prefer to ever feel this way, which is probably there's such a big disconnect between myself and 2B2, right? I don't like how it makes me feel, literally. I don't like how this makes me feel. And it's part of the trigger, right? Like, I don't want to face that trigger, that trauma, and go in like, okay, you make me feel this way. Why 2B2? Why do you make me feel this way? And that's literally what we're doing here. I'm just going to continue. But seriously, why would you want to feel so like, ah? I feel what will happen after this, I'll be a little bit more comfortable with 2B2, and that little dream I have of wanting to do the newest and final version of this song, because I don't like any of them. That's right. Any of them. The only 2B2 I like is with the I Feel You remixes. That's the only 2B2 I like because it feels different. As a different structure, it feels different. There's more to it than this, or someone else's interpretation of this. Like, they don't get what I was saying here necessarily, which is why I don't resonate with them, because you don't understand, and I don't want to understand this, or did. Yeah, it would be from a completely different level. So I would use potentially how this feels here, but then expand on it. Okay, but there's hope. There's hope after this shit, and then there's resolution. Imagine how good 2B2 is gonna feel when it gives you a little bit of this, gives you a little bit of hope, and gives you how I am right now, because I'm really fucking good. I've never been this good in my entire life. I love myself unconditionally enough to be here live with you today and not give any fucks what you think of me or my review of 2B2, because I'm in the here and now, in the present moment, in my body going, the only thing that matters is me connecting to this song and connecting to you, not who says what or who does what. So let's continue. Okay, here's the other thing I'm feeling. It's fucking exhausting. It just goes on. It goes on for so long, so potentially that could be the feeling someone else is feeling during a trigger. Like, why are we going through this same situation over and over and over again? Every time like you get like this, I get exhausted because you are just draining my energy. So this whole thing is making me feel drained. Going into that energy is draining me currently right now, because that sounds like an argument to me. It feels like a trigger that just blew up into an argument no one wants to have, and someone's not taking responsibility for it. And the other one is like, oh my god, I'm dealing with a fucking child here. These are what triggers are. We become children and we're out of the body again. You could heal all of that stuff. Look at me go. Oh my god, did you feel that? Possibly not, but if you get a hang of how to navigate this space, you'll get better acquainted to what feeling things is. So in that moment, right, we're breaking down, that voice is trying to calm us down again. we're barely giving that voice any time, any room to breathe. So it's instant, like, nah. I'm still gonna manipulate the situation and tell you my sad little story of the lead melody. Yeah, I really need to make a new next level, multi-dimensional version of this story. Come on, that's just a tantrum right there. Then there's just kicking and screaming at this point. You know, it's great that came to me right before coming on here while I was working on my energy and centering myself and being connected to the universe and grounding and all that lovely shit. I had a vision of what 2v2 actually is and what it stands for. And yes, you know, for a long time, some dipshits out there would say it's 2 versus 2, and I'd be like, no, bitch, it's not 2 versus 2. Oh, my ego's hurt. But actually, part of it is. So, like, the twos play a big role here. You got 2 as far as your higher self and your ego self. Oh yeah, it's like your intuition and your fear, like, oh, like your heart, you know, I feel I should do this, but you shouldn't do this because you're gonna die. But I really feel I won't. No, you're gonna fucking die. But I really feel no, right? So then, like, in this instance, who wins? The ego wins, the fear wins, and in the music, the male energy does win. In case you want, you don't want to be spoiled. Or I am literally spoiling you. The male wins here. So you got the ego and the higher self, that's 2. And then the actual physical representation of that energy is the masculine energy, the feminine energy, right? Arguing because the masculine needs to win. Thank you. I will drop this mic maybe later on the bed. I don't want to break it. Wow, fighting until the very end. There's absolutely no feminine energy winning this story whatsoever. You know what I like to do? Just take a really gentle kind of approach to finishing a track these days. Psytrance does that a lot with their outros. That's the feminine energy. So yeah, I prefer a very different energy to closing a track, an outro. There you have it. I didn't cry. I laughed at myself a lot more than I would cry because I think most of my trauma is out of me. This was just another perspective of something I already knew. So I already knew this about myself, and I worked on it for a long time. So wasn't actually surprised. But again, I've heard this song before many times, and I've connected it since the inception of it. If you like this kind of approach to getting feedback about your music, I actually offer this service professionally, and it costs $50 for the video. It varies in length. Could go up to 30 minutes. This one was extra long because I needed the comfort of feeling vulnerable and stuff and being okay with it. Next year, though, after the new year, the price is going to double. And then somewhere down the line, probably again, because I can't do these forever. However, if you don't want to pay for one of these, but you really, 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 really want to know what you're putting out into the world with your music, then you could just wait. Every month, I do 5 free giveaways on my socials. And I think I've done this for 2 months now. And everyone, no matter how brutal facing your own shit is, everyone really appreciated it and everyone loved it. And, it really helps you on the way to making better music. No one is teaching this stuff. No one is teaching this stuff. If you really, 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 really want to make next level music, you have to come to me because I can do all this stuff for you. I can show you what it means to be connected to your soul and to your heart, how to love yourself, how to maintain that energy, how to switch creativity on like this. Oh, I feel like right now is the best time to make music. So you use that time in the space and in the present moment, and you sit there and you do what I taught you to do. Then, only then, will you learn to make the best music. Will you make the best music? Cool. Thanks for coming. See you on the next live, whenever that is. Who knows? I might be just inspired. Bye-bye.